Aaron, what made Rodon so dominant this evening?
Oh, man. Gosh, he was good. Just felt like he was in, we talked about how would he take the experience of the first time out. And I thought I felt like he totally applied all that. I thought he was just in complete command of himself and of his emotions. Stuff was excellent. Had swing and miss. Featured. I mean, the fastball was really good. But I thought mixed in some good change-ups too, and even threw a couple cutters in there tonight, which we haven't seen a lot of. But just started with the fastball and the command of it, and generally speaking, getting ahead and really having some swing and miss, so he's able to put guys away over and over while also being real pitch efficient. Quan puts a 9, 10, whatever pitch at bat on him right out of the chute, and retires him and just kind of was pretty dominant from there.
You mentioned he really stayed within himself, controlled his emotions. At what point in time did you realize he was kind of a different version than you saw in the first start?
I don't want to lose sight of that first start, how good I thought he was early. He was just definitely amped up. And I think that potentially, led to some fatigue or whatever, missing some spots there in that last inning. But, man, I thought he held his stuff really well. You just watched him out there with intensity, but a lot of poise. And that's what stood out.
Other questions for Aaron? We'll go to Brendan standing on your right.
Just how key was it for you guys to get on them early and not have to deal with the elite back end arms?
Yeah, I thought, we had really good at-bats. We pressured them early and didn't score those first 2 innings where we had, 4 base runners, 5 base runners. So we were able to pressure Cobb a lot. He did a good job of holding us down. Finally, Juan breaks through, and then we kept the pressure on where, I thought we took a lot of good at-bats. Didn't necessarily have that big hit again to make it a huge offensive night for us, but I thought a lot of heavy at-bats again that kind of set us up and put Carlos in a good position.
And how's Rizzo?
Rizzo's good. Yeah, hand was good. I just felt like, man, I thought he was sharp, which was really good to see. Hand good, more just, but he was just kind of physically and emotionally spent there late in the game, and I kind of felt like I needed to get him out of there and want to make sure I'm managing this properly with him as we go through this, because he really hasn't been on the field in over 2 weeks, and but came through good with the hand. Expect him in there tomorrow, and thought he had some really good at bats.
Other questions for Aaron? We'll go to Ron up front, first row here on the right.
The patience in the at-bats all through the postseason and really through the season, how much did the players start with that, and how much was preached by the coaches?
I mean, I think a lot of them, that's who they are. That's what they're capable of. That's in their DNA. I mean, but, we beat that over. We hammer it, right? And they do too. We talk about that all the time. Like, just, hey, keep having good at-bats. Keep having tough at-bats no matter what's going on. Because you're going to have games where it doesn't go well, or, you don't score, you go through stretches. But it's like, man, let's just keep, you hear pass the baton a lot or things like that. But it's more just, I want to take a heavy, tough, hard at-bat, regardless of what the result is. And I feel like, by and large, through these first now 5 playoff games, we've done that. Again, we haven't totally broken through offensively, but I feel like the at-bats are where they need to be.
Is that more significant in the postseason, where the big hits are harder to come by given the pitching?
I mean, yeah, but, it can come in a lot of different ways. There's teams out, putting the ball in play helps you. Obviously putting the ball in the seats, especially when you get a couple guys out in a big spot, that can be big. But I think, by and large, our strength of our group is, making you have to work to go through us.
Go right behind Ron to Peter.
With Soto's home run, I mean, he as soon as he hit it, I guess Cobb started walking guys after that. The crowd was very loud. Just how did that sort of set the tone for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it got us on the board because to that point, so he's the 11th batter there or so at that point. Again, I thought we had a lot of good at-bats. We had traffic. We probably had, to that point, 6 base runners, but had nothing to show for it. So for him to break through and get us on the board, and then I thought we continued to have good at-bats from there.
Go to Susan in the first row.
When you look at Giancarlo right now, what do you see?
Just some kind of presence in the middle of our lineup. Locked in, focused, and that's of course what he's capable of. I mean, that ball is absolutely nailed on a cold night, hitting it off the back of the bullpen out there. I thought he, just missed one his first AB. When we had two guys out there, hit that ball to left. I thought he got a good swing off on what I thought was a pretty good sinker from Cobb. Just missed one to right as well. Had the walk and then the homer. So just stacking quality at ABs. And when he does that, he's capable of obviously hitting one like he did tonight.
Two last ones for Aaron. Chris on your left.
Carlos's tenure has been up and down so far. When you guys signed him 2 off seasons ago, did you kind of envision these kinds of outings at the time?
Well, when you put it like that, yes. I mean that was a dominant performance in game 1 of the championship series. So that was really good to see. But again, just how in command he was. Because he is intense, he is emotional at times, and I thought he commanded all that so well, and that's what he's capable of when he's dialed in like that.
First row on your right, Aaron. We'll finish with Eric.
Aaron, what was your argument or point of discussion with Dan on the obstruction call?
Well, because originally he ruled not going to second base, so I wanted to make sure of that. I also wanted to make sure it didn't hit a runner. So I was just getting some clarification, and then obviously they huddled up and ended up awarding the base. So I got to still go back and look at it and see exactly, but I was at least satisfied with how they processed it and got together at least.
Hey, Carlos, Aaron just called your outing tonight dominant. How would you describe the outing? What stands out to you the most?
Yeah, I mean, I thought Austin was great behind the plate. He had a good idea of how he wanted to handle the hitters, and then defensively we had some great play out there as well from Judge and infield as well. And then the bullpen coming in and shut the door was great. And then obviously offensively we scored some runs, some big swings from Soto and Big G, and some competitive bats. And it seems like we know the strike zone very well, so we played a very good game.
Second row on your right, Brian.
Carlos, you had 25 swings and misses tonight. What was just working so well for you?
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like it was mostly fastball slider, mixed in some changeups, a couple cutters. And, like I said, I thought Austin had a good idea and good game plan, behind the plate. And, I was just, throwing to where he wanted me to throw it.
And then how much more comfortable did you feel out there compared to game 2 against Kansas?
Yeah, it was, I mean, the goal was just try to stay in control of, what I can do, obviously physically and emotionally, and I thought I executed that well tonight.
Go to the first row on your left, Chris.
Carlos, when you signed here 2 off seasons ago, are these the kinds of performances you envisioned yourself having?
Yeah, I mean, it mostly is just the opportunity, to be able to pitch in a game like this. Yeah.
We'll go to the fifth row, the right center aisle.
Carlos, given this stage, where does this performance rank in your career?
Yeah, I mean, it's up there. I've never pitched in the ALCS before, so this was my first time. So I mean, there's no bigger stage in baseball. So I would say it's definitely up there.
The third row on your far left, Gabe.
Carlos, given how well you were pitching, was it challenging to kind of maintain that emotional level of just kind of being right at one level, or did you break character ever?
No, I had it under control most of the night. I watched, like I said, we had a press conference earlier before the game. I think a couple days ago, I watched Garrett throw that game 4 in Kansas City, and mentally I was taking notes on how he was going out there and going about it, and I just wanted to kind of go about it the same way, and I thought I did well at that tonight.
A second row on your right, Ryan.
You went through the 3, 4, 5 in the order in the fourth inning. I think it was part of 11 in a row you set down, and then you won a 9-pitch at bat against Ramirez.
Yeah.
Your last, and you talked the other day about how tough he is.
Yeah, he's a great hitter. I mean, if you look at his numbers versus me, I mean, he's had I would say around 40 or so, probably more at bats. He's hitting pretty well against me. I mean, he's one of the better hitters in our game, and that last at bat against him was tough. I mean, anytime I go up against Jose, it's a tough at bat, and he puts it he puts a tough at bat up there, and he fights off tough pitches. I mean, he's such a great player. It's fortunate, Judgy ran down that ball. I mean, he hit 2 balls hard to center, and that was a goal to keep him in the center of the field or the right side of the field, and he always puts a good at bat up.
I was just gonna say the fourth inning was that key after you guys scored those runs on the wild pitches to just shut them down, right? Come back.
Yeah, that was the goal, was a shutdown inning after we scored there. Go out there and put up a 0.
And we'll stay there with Peter, I think.
I know you mentioned Garrett Cole, his poker face. Just what exactly, specifically, were you able to take from him, and what's it like on the mound? What are you actually doing to hold that mindset?
Yeah, I mean, if you go, there's some big spots in that game for Garrett. I can't remember. There's runners on, and he gets out of the jam, and it's pretty even keel walking off the mound. There's no screaming. There's no fist pumping or anything. He's just, like I said, like a robot, and he walks out and walks across the line and into the dugout. I mean, it's not that it's hard. It's just, being mindful of it and being focused on, the next pitch. And I think that kind of leads to, that robot, that good poker face.
Carlos, congrats. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
We have Giancarlo here. We'll get started with Giancarlo, who has the first question. We'll start the third row on your far right, Giancarlo.
Giancarlo, what makes you so lethal come playoff time? How do you explain it?
Just hyper focus. I mean, I understand how important each pitch, each moment is. I understand that you're not always going to be successful in those moments, but anything I can do, any bit of information or video or swings, anything I can do to be in my best spot during this moment.
Go to the second row on your right, Giancarlo.
Giancarlo, what did you think of how Rodon bounced back from that start, Game 2?
He was great. He was the driver tonight. Juan got us going on the offensive side, but Carlos was holding them down and giving us a chance to score and add to it.
Other questions? We'll go to Nathan here, left.
Giancarlo, in the hours leading up to tonight's game, did you see any difference in Carlos in just the way he was kind of, focused or prepared? Was there anything different about his demeanor today?
I can't say I saw him before the game. I was in my own focus. But regardless of his pregame, he showed how prepared and focused he was. So that's all that matters.
Second row, you're right, Ryan.
You mentioned Soto starting it off. He's been swinging well all postseason, but he gets his first Yankee postseason home run there. What did that do for you guys to start the table?
It's always great to score first, and with the homer, it's always a little extra buzz. So yeah, we just needed to add to it and capitalize on mistakes and not try to do too much and get it done.
What have you seen anything like that sequence where there were like 4 wild pitches in a span of 4 batters, and you guys were just kind of going around the bases?
I can't really say I have, but that's baseball. You show up to the park, there's always going to be something that you've never seen before, a chance of something you've never seen before, whether it's playoffs or opening day.
To your immediate right, Bob.
Giancarlo, this is not a question that anyone would ask of you, and the midweek series in April or May, but in October, a best of 7. Do you think a performance like this by Carlos and the team can set the tone for the rest of the series or send a message?
Getting the start off wins big. It's a message in its own, but there's still 3 to get. So we know this is good, but in our eyes, we haven't done nothing yet. We got to win 3 out of 6, and we take that as 3 out of 3.
We'll go to Peter here on the end of the second row.
Understanding this is a disciplined team to begin with, just how much have walks been a weapon for you guys this postseason?
Big time. They are huge. We can't emphasize that enough. Not forcing things. So, in the biggest moments, you want to maybe try to do too much, expand a little too much. And we've done a great job so far of taking what they give us, and, we'll continue to do that.
Juan, congratulations. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. We'll start with Meredith, first row on your right, Juan.
Sorry for making you wait.
All good.
Hey, Juan, you joked before the game kind of that you couldn't tell us why you've had so much success against Alex Cobb. But to ask you post game, why do you think you have so much success against Alex Cobb?
I don't know. He's a veteran player. He's been in the league for a while. I feel like he's a guy who's not scared. He's pounding the strike zone, so he's gonna give you pitches to hit. So I'm just ready. I'm ready to swing every time. I know he's not gonna run away. So as you see in my first at bat, he went 0-2 right away, and then I stayed locked in, got another pitcher, and then drive. That's my mindset all the time. I try to be aggressive because I know I'm gonna get some pitches, and he did.
You look at that third inning, you started things off, of course, but what did you think of the at-bat quality of the rest of the lineup as they navigated through that inning?
That's what good teams does. It's not all about one guy. It's about the whole lineup, and we put pressure on those guys, taking pitches and getting our walks, getting guys over, bases loaded, making those guys make wild pitches and everything. So I think at the end of the day, it's a team effort, and we showed up today.
Standing on your right, Ryan.
Juan, I have 2 for you. You mentioned the wild pitches. When you're up in that at bat and he's already thrown the 2 the inning before and he's thrown the 2 to you, what's the approach there? I mean, you have to be extra patient knowing he can't find the strike zone?
I don't try to be extra patient, but definitely try to get my pitch because he's trying to nibble and make pitches. And whenever he put that guy on third base, my mindset just changed to put the ball in play. Try to get that runner in, He made a pitch and then he missed. And I just take my walk. I trust my teammates behind me, and then Judge came through.
And Judge, and you mentioned Judge, he had the sac fly, but he still hasn't had the big hit, the homer, or the big hit this postseason. Can you feel how much you and Giancarlo's hot bats are taking pressure off of him right now and just kind of carrying the load?
Like I said in the past, I don't think he has any pressure. He's been doing really good. I mean, he made a swing to right field today. They dive, make a good contact on the sac fly. So I think it's some days when you can't find the holes. So I think he's feeling himself again. He's swinging bat well, and I think he's gonna be fine. I don't think he has any pressure. We definitely, like I say, it's a team effort. At the end of the day, he's gonna take every single guy in that lineup. We cannot lean on only him. So we all got to come through in one time.
Go to Ron up front.
On the home run trot, what was the significance between first and second when you made the hand motion?
We keep it in ourselves. It's only me and the bullpen. We keep it in ourselves.
Can you give us a hint of what it means?
No, I can't.
Go to the second row on your left.
Juan Fernando Álvarez, One Baseball Network. Felicitaciones. Considerando tu corta edad y que ya has estado con esta en 3 versiones, 3 ediciones de series de campeonato con 3 diferentes equipos, ¿cuál considera Juan Soto, cuál es la diferencia entre cada uno de esas 3 versiones de Juan Soto, o cuál es tu mejor versión y por qué?
Yo diría que las mejores versiones de la serie de campeonato fue con los nacionales y definitivamente ahora mismo hemos tenido un primer juego bien emocionante. Yo creo que tú sabes, son diferentes experiencias, ¿sabes? Diferentes equipos. Tú tienes muchos jugadores en el roster que son mucho más... es un poquito diferente a lo que tenemos ahora, lo que tuvimos en el 22, lo que tuvimos en el 19. Pero definitivamente las tres fueron especiales para mí, que tú puedes ver qué tanto talento un equipo puede tener y no significa que pueda llegar hasta el final. Yo creo que ese 2019 fue increíble. En el 2022 yo creo que en papel teníamos el mejor equipo en la liga, pero fracasamos. Pero como te digo, al final del día son experiencias que se viven y se siente cada una es diferente. Yo creo que aquí nos sentimos muy bien hasta ahora, tremendo equipo y hemos ido enseñando que sabemos cómo ganar partidos pegados o también en una ventaja larga. Yo creo que cada una son diferentes experiencias, pero buenas cada una de ellas.
En la extensión de la palabra fildeo y bateo, conciencia de juego, experiencias, esta es tu mejor versión, Juan.
Yo creo que hasta ahora sí, porque, ¿sabes? He ido creciendo y aprendiendo cada año, ¿sabes? Al pasar de los años he ido aprendiendo cada día más y yo creo que el año que viene también tendré una mejor versión que la de este año, porque he ido aprendiendo bastante. Esta organización me ha ayudado bastante en mi defensa y también en mi ofensiva. También tengo tremendos coaches que me han ayudado bastante. Yo creo que poco a poco, cada año he ido mejorando, gracias a Dios. Esa es la meta, ese es el plan. Y claro que sí, yo creo que esta es mi mejor versión hasta ahora.
Gracias. Go across the aisle to Enrique.
Juan, háblame de la importancia de ganar el juego 1 en una serie de playoff y la importancia del approach que tú tienes. Te ha envasado en 32 de 34 juegos de playoff, incluyendo 16 consecutivos.
Yo creo que la importancia del juego número 1, tú sabes, como dominicano al fin, el que da adelante da 2 veces. Yo creo que eso es algo bien importante, ganar el primer partido, ¿sabes? No quiere decir que ya se acabó la serie, sino que para nosotros es mejor jugar desde adelante que venir desde atrás. Yo creo que se hace un poquito más fácil, tenemos un poquito más de confianza al salir allá afuera. Claro está, tenemos que venir mañana también con la misma energía, tratar de tomar el segundo juego para ir a Cleveland. Pero sí, para mí es una de las cosas más importantes. Cuando nosotros ganamos, la mentalidad era ir 1-0 cada día. Y yo creo que eso es algo que te ayuda a salirse adelante. La otra pregunta era el approach. Yo creo que, no sé, es algo diferente, tú sabes, la vibra, cómo se siente los playoffs, los fanáticos, todo. Yo creo que es una experiencia inigualable. Y yo creo que mi approach es simplemente tratar de controlar mis emociones en la hora de la verdad y en el plato, tú sabes. A veces uno se pasa un poquito más para allá, pero siempre tratando de mantenerme firme con la misma mentalidad y tratar de no ponerme muy grande, siempre mantenerme corto y tratar de buscar un sencillo.
Two more, Juan, up front here.
Juanjo, Alfred Álvarez con las bases llenas. ¿Qué tan impresionado estás con lo que está haciendo Giancarlo Stanton? Evidentemente has tenido un año para jugar con él, un momento que se lesionó, pero desde que existe la era del StatCast, los honrones que él da, la velocidad a la que salen son impresionantes. ¿Qué tanto te impresiona eso a ti, que eres un jugador que aunque tiene una gran carrera todavía eres joven?
Lo impresionante yo creo que sería con la facilidad que él lo hace. Yo creo que eso sería lo más impresionante. Un swing que no hay mucha carga, de ahí para adelante y yo creo que eso es lo que más me impresiona a mí como bateador, tú sabes. Yo soy un bateador un poquito más diferente, que batea con el ritmo del lanzador y todo, pero él es algo increíble. Yo creo que los swings que hace y los contactos que hace, yo creo que ha hecho cosas increíbles. No solo bateando la bola, también hasta rompiendo los bates. Es increíble lo que puede hacer, ¿sabes? Un extraterrestre. No, pero bien. Bien contento de formar parte con el equipo con él, pero wow, bien cómico lo que hace.
Take one more. No, we'll finish up in the back corner there.
Gabriel Balcácer, Canal América. Juan, te felicito. Hoy estuviste espectacular como siempre, pero muy atinado. Una línea de hit comenzando el partido y un cuadrangular a la hora buena. La pregunta es la siguiente. ¿Cómo ves a Rodon, que vino hoy imponente, y a Luke Weaver, tus compañeros que están haciendo excelente labor? Pero tu opinión me gustaría escuchar.
Yo creo que el trabajo que han hecho esos muchachos en la temporada completa ha sido fenomenal. Han ido enseñando desde el primer juego que lo que ellos tienen y qué tan buenos ellos son, ¿sabes? Rodón es increíble, los lanzamientos que estaba haciendo hoy, el slider estaba funcionando hoy, el cambio, todos los lanzamientos, yo creo que estaba excelente el comando de ellos y ejecutando, ¿sabes? Atacando a los bateadores temprano, porque una de las cosas más importantes yo creo que es esa, cuando atacan a los bateadores temprano y después tarde en el conteo tratan de hacerlo fallar y chasear. Luke Weaver ha estado ahí desde la temporada completa, en cualquier ocasión que lo ponen, siempre sale con una sonrisa, siempre positivo. No importa las ocasiones. Yo creo que eso es algo que lo hace a él bien especial, que no importa la situación que tú lo traigas, él va a venir a dar el 100% de él. So, bien contento por esos dos muchachos y gracias a ellos estamos aquí.
Juan, congrats on a great night.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.